Stannis Baratheon. Peter Dinklage. Baratheon Dinklage.
Okay, everybody, we're back. It is the next day. We've had some sleep, not very much, but we are better prepared to discuss the episode. So we'll begin with how the episode began, with Arya as Walder Frey. And when it first happened, obviously I wasn't thinking that, of course, that was Arya, but I thought maybe this was a flashback. And then it clicked. Of course, that's Arya. She's about to get rid of the rest of Walder's men. Because I did wonder at the end of season 6 what she was going to do with the rest of the men. I thought, yeah, okay, great, you got rid of Walder Frey, but what about all his men? There's only somebody, one of his sons is going to take the place. We know she only killed the 2 main sons. So yeah, that was brilliantly done. Brilliant. I love how she left the women alone as well, because of course they're innocent in all this.
Yeah.
And you always have to leave somebody behind to tell your story. Yeah. And what did she say? Winter is here. The North remembers. And winter came for Walder Frey, or winter came for you, something like that. Whatever, it was badass, that was for sure. And then I love how she walked out, similar to Sansa walking out after setting the dogs on Ramsay. That little smirk.
It's like the Stark family's now taking back.
Yeah, and the girls
control.
Are kicking ass big time. But like I was saying with the episode yesterday, it can only go so far. I don't think Arya can sustain this behavior, you know?
Yeah, I mean, how much is she putting herself at risk? And there's 2 ways. She can go it alone, or she can end up joining the rest of her family with Jon Snow and Sansa. And, which way is going to be the best way? I mean, part of you thinks they're better united, or certainly telling each other what they're doing. I don't know how much Arya knows about where Jon and Sansa are, or if they're still alive or anything, does she?
No, she must know, because word seems to travel quickly in Westeros. She must know Jon is King of the North. Somebody must have said something. Cersei knew. Obviously, she's in a position to know all the latest details, and Arya might not be, but you would think
it'd disseminate through
walking
the city,
around the countryside,
hearing things.
You would hear things,
especially if she sat down with a bunch of soldiers.
Yeah,
you could get a lot of information from them, couldn't you?
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute, because I wanted to talk about that. Okay, so then we go to Winterfell with Jon and Sansa, and they're showing already there's a bit of tension, potential for tension, because it dissipated afterwards, where Jon and Sansa had that talk along the ramparts, where he's like, don't question me in front of the lords and ladies, and it was
a bit obstinate of her to do. You would think if he's King of the North, you would put a quiet word in his ear, wouldn't you? You wouldn't just sort of defy him in front of everybody.
I was surprised. Although I agree with what she had to say, I was surprised that she did it like that in front of everybody, because that's not really a good thing to do. And it kind of speaks to a tiny bit lack of respect.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
And that she sees herself as higher than him.
She does, yeah. It's still he's the bastard.
Yeah, that's a lifelong thing. It's not her fault. She's her mother's daughter, and she's been raised to look at him that way. And I know she recognizes that was wrong, because she said, "Forgive me. I know I treated you horribly," and I believe her. She does want forgiveness, but that still lingers, because otherwise she would have never done that in front of everybody.
No.
I'm
sure she wouldn't have dreamed of doing that to Rob or her father.
No, she wouldn't have. No, never.
Yeah, with him, it's just...
Yeah, with him, she
feels
felt comfortable
it's her
enough
place
to do it.
Yeah.
And it's only going to get worse, I think. Like I said, there was that moment where you're like, oh, there's some tension, and then they made up after. But then Littlefinger's there, and it's like, I feel like he's going to keep poking at her until...
Oh, you should be the rightful heir, not him.
Yeah, he's going to keep... it'll feed into it, to that small little seed that's already there.
It could be, actually, that she wouldn't interrupt him, but Littlefinger's got to her to the point where he's saying, oh, you ought to have your say, and...
Yeah, so it's possible, because, she still very
actually.
much knows Littlefinger's game. You know, she's like, get away from me, stop with your snide remarks and all this. So she knows...
Yeah, but it's working, isn't it? By the sound of it.
Well, we don't know. She might already just feel that way, naturally.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a hint of her feeling that way, and he's feeding it.
Yeah, I think it's good. That's what
she
I'm
thinks
saying.
She knows what his game is, but actually, it's this constant whisper in the background. Oh, you should have said your thing.
Eating away at her.
Yeah, you know better than he does.
Even to the point where she'll think it's all her idea, not even realize it was Littlefinger.
I think that's his game plan.
Yeah.
It's getting her to say what he wants by emphasising that it's what she wants.
And that little smirk when the two kids from the excuse me, the Karstarks and the Umbers, he smirked at them when they pledged their fealty. So he's going to mess around up there, and he's going to get it wrong because you don't mess with the Northerners. He doesn't know the Northerners like he thinks he does.
It's just not a strong position.
It's not a strong position. It's I already said I think that's a weak link, but we'll see how that goes.
I think Jon's got their loyalty from the fact that he's not punished them, and they're
that's true.
Thankful of that.
It could work either way, really. Because yes, I see Jon's point, and that he is a good person and very much like Ned in that respect. Where and it's true, you don't want to punish people for what someone else has done.
He sort of does the right thing by.
Yeah, I do see. Like I said, that is a weak link in the chain because that's an easy entry for Littlefinger to start messing over there if he wanted to as well.
Well, he could be saying to Sansa, "Look, he's just letting it all slip."
Yeah.
You need to get in there and be strong because he's not strong.
He started the War of the Five Kings. So who's to say he's not going to start some other mess up there?
Oh, he's definitely a stirrer. Yeah, he's not afraid to.
And that's a perfect place to insert something to say, "See, Sansa, see how they've betrayed you." See, so we'll see how that goes.
Jon's letting him go. Yeah. It's because he doesn't care about you, or I don't know. It just it's the little manipulations that I think he's getting her with.
That maester we saw, the guy that handed Jon the note saying Cersei was the queen and come down and pledge your fealty, that was Bolton's old maester. Okay, and Jon mentioned to Sansa that she seems to admire Cersei, which she probably does a little bit. I think any woman would. I kind of admire Cersei. I mean, say what you will, she's evil and... Well, she's not evil, but... She does horrible things. She's the equivalent
of the tough guy in a film, isn't she?
Yeah.
It's like no holds barred,
but I get,
do what you got to do.
I get why she does what she does. That's the thing about her. She's not just evil for the sake of it. She has a purpose.
The manipulation,
I love it. And I'm going to miss her when she goes, because we all know she's going to go eventually. She's going to die. When, maybe at the end of this season...
I imagine they'll somehow tie it up with the prediction,
Yeah. But I don't remember the show's not gone into the full.
No, that's true. Yeah. Well, you saw her as a little girl talking to the witch.
Yeah, but they didn't discuss the Valinquar thing.
No.
Okay, then we find out that Euron was invited to King's Landing by Cersei, and
he'd said that he was going to go and see it, but he never said that he implied that he called her.
No, he said he was going to.
Get himself a queen. Oh.
That he was going to go to Daenerys before they still, but that was last season.
That's right, yeah.
But now that Cersei's...
It was Daenerys, wasn't it? Not Cersei.
Now
and then Cersei called and he thought,
I'll
join
go
with her instead, yeah.
And then he said, I'll give you a gift. And I've been thinking on this. What's his gift? It's got to be a person.
It's got to be somebody that she hates who would love...
I think it's going to be Yara or...
Theon. But are they important to Cersei?
No, but it shows... No, not really.
I was thinking it's like an enemy of Cersei where she's thinking, I wish I could just kill such and such.
Well, it could be that woman.
But who could it be?
Sand woman.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Or Lady Olenna. Not that she would be anywhere near where he could get to her.
But it's... I mean, that would be the perfect gift.
It would have to be one of them.
Here's one of your major enemies handed over.
It would have to be one of them. Because what else could it be that would get her attention? I think it's going to be a person. It's going to be something symbolic.
An enemy, yeah. Yeah. But who?
It's going to be one of those, I think.
Obviously, she doesn't like the Starks. He's
not going anywhere near
There's
north.
no Starks.
It's going to be...
She doesn't
who's in Daenerys' group. Who is easily... Not expendable, but who is the most likely person to get caught out of...
Tyrion?
No, he's too close to her, to Daenerys. I don't think anybody from the inner circle is going to get...
No.
Is going to be taken by Euron. I think it's going to be an outlier, like the Greyjoys, Yara, Theon, Sand Lady, or
maybe the Sun Lady.
Lady Olenna. I know. What's her name? Alaria Sand. Alaria Sand. I can't remember. I never can remember her name because I don't really like her that much. Anyway,
obviously she won't like them because she killed her daughter, didn't?
Yeah, of course.
She?
Yeah.
So
I mean, Cersei is.
I would say she's definitely one for the list, but the Greyjoys. Why would she care about?
She wouldn't. She doesn't necessarily care about the Greyjoys, but they did align with Daenerys.
Yeah, but I don't know if she'd know that.
Of course she knows. She said she knows.
I mean, that would be easy for him to do because he'd call them up and say, "Look, I want to make peace, or I want to join you, or something."
If they're not the gift to Cersei, he's still going to get one of them. One of them's going to die in this.
Yeah.
So that scene at the Citadel, that was hilarious. I mean, I've never laughed so hard. And a Game of Thrones
the
episode
was absolutely special.
That was spectacular.
The comedy.
He is so funny. I love Sam so much.
And well acted by the actor.
He really is. I don't think people give Sam enough credit. There's a lot of people that don't like Sam.
He's kind of underutilized, really.
He really is. He's fabulous.
Really
How could
good.
you not like Sam? He's lovable. He's hilarious.
There's like no
he's such an underdog
to it. It's like wrenching and slopping the pots around and stuff. And
I also like getting to see the day-to-day life at the Citadel. I thought that was fun, even though
they put him in on the bottom rung.
He's starting way at the bottom, which is to be expected, I guess. And it was highly irregular, like the administration guy had said. So they put him straight in, but they took in Gilly and Sam, baby Sam. So he's doing all right. But that was hilarious.
At least they're safe now.
Yeah, they're safe, and she's learned to read. Gilly, and
obviously he was putting the books back as part of the library job he has, and then it was that restricted section. Yeah,
that caught his eye. That was so Harry Potter.
And it's more sensitive information.
I feel like the real sensitive stuff is back just for the Maesters, or like the very old books.
So in there, he's wanting to go in there because why? He's wanting to go in there and find out about
the details,
Dragonglass, White Walkers. It's all this sort of dangerous knowledge. And in particular, though, he's wanting to go back to...
Not necessarily dangerous. I just think, like, the oldest books. All this stuff is going to be in old books, isn't it? Because we know the Maesters, like you said, are the writers of history. So somewhere, somebody back then must have written down how to deal with the Long Night and what's out there. So I think
incantations about the white. You don't want anybody having a go
how
at
they how they became the White Walkers, what their motive is. All that could be in there. We don't know.
Because right now, I don't think anybody knows, do they? Except Bran, who saw them pushing the knife into the guy's chest.
Yeah, nobody knows that.
Was that an image that Bran saw?
Yeah.
Right. So he's the only one that knows that.
Well, he said it. And he said it was you when he woke up to the Children of the Forest girl. He said it was you.
Yeah.
So, they're the only ones that know at the minute. Miro will know, I'm sure. I'm looking at my notes, by the way. That's why I keep looking down. But I was thinking, what else could be in there? And I wonder if, obviously, they'll keep... Well, not obviously. I'm assuming the Citadel is where all the records are. So, is it possible there could be a record of a marriage between Lyanna and Rhaegar? And will he happen upon that? He won't be looking for it because he won't know to look for it.
But that'd be in the
But is it possible?
Section,
yeah, it would be. Because that'll be like the lineage of all the houses and things. Because...
It's not a book you want stealing from the main library.
Yeah, and is it possible they registered a marriage and just didn't tell anybody because of all this hell that broke loose? And otherwise...
Because then he can tell Jon.
Yeah.
Jon might
Well,
find
it would legitimize Jon because the thing is whether he's the son of Rhaegar or not, he's still a bastard. And bastards don't have a claim to anything. So he kind of needs to be legitimized. You know, his dad needs to have married Lyanna. And we know Rhaegar is the dad. I know the show never explicitly said that, but HBO did release a family tree with Rhaegar as the father, so we can take that as canon that he is the dad. And I mean, who else would be the dad? But I just think there has to be more to him just finding that bit about Dragonstone, because he already knew that from Stannis. I guess he just didn't believe him.
Oh, didn't connect the dots.
Yeah, I guess. How do you miss that? I don't know. But there has to be more to that restricted section. That talk with Sam and the Archmaester, who we think is Jim Broadbent. I think that talk, though, that he had with Sam...
It was very good acting for a start.
Yeah.
He really captures your interest when he's talking, doesn't he?
He conveyed being an Archmaester of all things. We never met an Archmaester before, and yet... I bought it. He is an Archmaester. He knows what he's talking about. He's been there for God knows how long. He knows what he's doing. But
he kind of dismissed Sam's comments though as the world will just take care of itself.
Well, he mentioned the wall has always been there, and I thought, okay, wall's coming down. Why else are you bringing this up? You know, that was the zone in on his face. The wall's always been there to stop all of that. He's not denying that what Sam is saying is true. He said, too many records have, too many various sources agree that there are these White Walkers, so it must be true. But the wall has always stopped them. Hello, goodbye wall.
And obviously Bran allowing the...
There must be something with Bran and that mark, which we don't know that it's still
Bran's
there.
now through the wall, isn't he?
He's through the wall now.
So the White Walkers... can get to Bran, can't they? Because he touched him.
I don't know how it works. We know it broke the magic of the cave. Does that follow him? Does it break the magic wherever there is magic? I don't know.
I'm wondering if it means that
What are you doing?
they can... just trying to pause that. I was distracted.
You can't pause it.
I was just thinking, does it mean that they can follow him?
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, that's what everybody's assuming.
No matter what,
we're all assuming that, but we don't know for sure because we're not sure how that works. Right, then next scene, Arya meets with Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, Ed Sheeran just out of the blue.
Singing a little
And it's
ditty.
funny because he's Ed Sheeran with a suit of armour on. They've not done his hair any different.
It was quite...
They've not made him look...
As much as I loved it, because it was like, oh, Ed Sheeran. It was a bit jarring. It was like...
It was very sort of...
It took you right out of the world, didn't it?
First of all, I don't know why they've picked him of anybody.
I think just because he wanted
randomly.
to be in it.
Yeah, possibly. And then, secondly, though, they've not done any... He's still got spiked hair.
His very modern
guy in the outfit.
Maybe that's just because we recognise him.
Maybe it's just for a laugh, I don't know, but it's...
I think it was. It was
and then he had no lines. All he did was sing.
Well, he had a couple lines. He did have a couple.
He just chuckled at someone else's jokes.
I guess he's not a very good actor, so...
I really like him. It just... They didn't really give him the part as such.
No,
it was
just. I think it was just a bit of fun. I don't know that he'll pop up again, but I enjoyed that. I thought
he was in a lot of the shots. You could see him while other people were talking.
I appreciated
just for the
that.
popularity.
Yeah, it's fun. But it did take me right out of the world. It took me right out of the story.
All of a sudden,
so I was like, oh,
yeah,
Ed Sheeran singing. Okay, but yeah, and I'm glad I was wrong about those soldiers. I thought trouble was brewing, and I thought
they were going to attack her or something.
Yeah, I really did, and they were just nice guys.
Yeah, Yeah.
Just the friendly lads sharing
doing their job.
Fire. I thought that was, I was glad I was
humanized.
wrong. Yeah, I liked
soldiers,
that.
Didn't it?
Yeah, it really did. Gave us a nice glimpse of.
Let's hope they. It'd be nice if they played some kind of a role in it, but never mind.
Well, we know there's going to be a war, and it's going to suck because we know that these guys are just
Ordinary
soldiers
people.
doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And they're caught up in these rich men's wars, as it
we
always
all are.
is. Yeah, as we all are. So it sounds like she is heading south. We had all assumed from the trailer that she might be heading north, but no. If she's telling the truth, I just don't want her to go south yet. I don't want her in King's Landing. She can't. Well, she is a faceless woman. She could get to the Queen, but it's not going to happen like that.
No, it's a bit too. Yeah, what they're going to do with the rest of the season if she goes around killing everybody.
I just don't want. I want her to go home. Go home, Arya. Please go home. But once she's home, what's she going to do? So I suppose they will drag it out. Right, so then the next scene is the Hound, which that was another hilarious scene. I just love the Hound. I love him so much. And
again, another really good actor.
Yeah, he's fabulous.
He really puts through this sense of I'm fed up.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
a good
sick
guy,
and tired.
but he's like, I'm sick of this crap.
Sick of the bullshit.
I'm sick of your crap. I'm sick of your crap.
I love him. Yeah,
he's really
I love him because that's how I feel a lot. I'm like, you know what? Screw you all.
Yeah.
I understand the Hound, but when he started going in on what's his name with the top knot. The top knot remark was absolutely hilarious. And then he called him a bald cunt, which is my new favorite saying from his. That's replaced fucking chickens.
You're not kidding anybody with that top knot.
In your cunt mouth. Yeah, you're not fooling anybody. I mean, that was hilarious. He is so funny. But I do love how that came full circle, assuming that is the cottage where him and Arya were. I think it was.
I'm pretty sure yeah.
So they starved because he took their silver.
We assume. But
He
It's
did.
a fair assumption. Oh, I know he took it, but I mean...
Well, they didn't have money to buy anything. They starved. And they weren't prepared for winter.
Yeah.
Right, and then we learn, so Beric is saying, the Hound is asking Beric, like, who are you? Why are you so special? Why do you come back to life? And those poor innocent people are dead. Clegane should have died at the bottom of that hill that he fell down after fighting with Brienne, and he didn't.
So are we assuming the Lord of Light saved him as well?
I think so. I'm all for the Lord of Light right now. I think the Lord of Light is the only one that is, proving their existence. And then Clegane looked into those flames, which we know how he feels about fire, but he wanted to see what was in the flames, so he went and looked, and he saw the wall. For Clegane to look into the fire and see something, it was there. It happened.
Yeah.
So whatever's going on is leading them to the wall. So that's how we know they start heading north. Okay, then we go back to the Citadel and we find out Jorah is there, which makes sense because that's where you would go to find a cure.
Get healed, yeah.
And they're kept in these little cells, which makes sense again. To keep them from spreading their disease. I hope he finds a cure. And then at the end, Daenerys arrives at Dragonstone. And I really loved that scene. It was so... I don't want to say simple. Like I was saying, at the end, I didn't even realize nobody was speaking until she said something. I was just so overwhelmed. So many thoughts. And they were clever to do that. Because we're all just taking it all in. Like... She's here.
In your mind, you're sort of telling the story to yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, she's looking there because that's that, and she's looking here.
She's looking up at the castle, and you're like, "That's where she was born."
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Look at the architecture.
You're narrating
look at
it
the
yourself,
dragons.
aren't you? Yeah.
Look at the beach. Oh, she's touching the beach, and she's touching it with reverence. She's home, and all this is going through your mind, and then you walk in. You see the throne room, and you're like, "Wow, that's an awesome throne room. Look how amazing that looks."
And that sort of table.
And then
with
off
the map,
to the side into that fabulous room with the map, and you're just
the dragon on the wall.
like I said, you're just taking it all in. You're looking at the dragon on the wall, and then finally she says, "Shall we begin?" or something along those lines. And you're like, "Wow, nobody said a word all this time, and I've just been sat here in awe." So that was a fabulous start. I cannot wait for next week. Any final thoughts?
No, I can't wait for the next one. I mean, not a lot seemed to happen on this episode, I suppose, I would say.
No, it's
but
definitely
it's all
setting
like
up
a
the
build
chess
up.
pieces.
Yeah, it's a build up so that probably the next episode's going to be action packed, and you know where everything is, and you can see what's happening with the next
we've got
step.
some epic battles to come. We know that. Let us know what you guys thought in the comments. What did you think about the episode? What do you think about this Lord of Light stuff? Is it something to it? And Arya, is she really heading towards Cersei? And
I can't wait to see what she's planning.
Yeah, I want to know where she
going.
goes. What's her path? That's what I want to know. And the Red Woman, we didn't see her at all, but we do know she ends up at Dragonstone. I also noticed most of the first trailer was in this episode. Daenerys, enemies to the east, enemies to the west, and
the map that she's standing on.
All that was mainly this episode. Thank you guys for watching. We hope you tune in next week to see our reaction to I forgot the episode title, Stormborn, or something to do with Daenerys. I know that much. All right, see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.
I cannot give you back your homes or restore your dead to life, but perhaps I can give you justice in the name of our king.